Let's be real. The only on-screen media to pretty much accurately show what hacking is like is probably the show Mr. Robot. Hacking isn't just hitting a flurry of keys and magically breaking into some super secure website or whatever. It's a long and arduous process that pretty much a program runs for you, looking for keystroke patterns and so on and so forth. We're not here to teach you how to hack though. We're here to talk about those action-packed films featuring hackers who can pull out a rubber keyboard from their pocket and plug themselves into a light post and somehow manage to take down the Pentagon. Before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Every new sub helps us achieve our goal and keeps us motivated to create new content. With that being said, I'm your host, Jamie, and here are 10 films featuring super hackers. Number 1, Hackers. London filmmaker Ian Softly's sophomore outing, Hackers, would also go on to be arguably his most popular. Softly's long filmmaking career is marked with critical and commercial duds, particularly on release. Lucky for him, his 1995 Hackers has built up a following over the last few decades. The mid-90s marked the dawn of the internet and an exciting digital era for plots. Hacking was all the rage in pop culture, and Hackers capitalized on that. The film begins with 11-year-old hacker Dade, aka Zero Cool, hilarious, right? Being barred from using any electronic device or phone until he turns 18, after he tanked Wall Street. Kind of like Trump keeps doing, but not in a cool way. Hackers' lasting power is largely nostalgic, as even on release, it was criticized for how little it understood hacking. But it is entertaining, probably not in the ways the filmmakers intended, and its home market sales have been strong over the years. It even had a 20th anniversary edition released in 2015, as well as a 4K limited edition steelbook released only last year. Hacker sees Dade at 18 becoming part of a group of hackers at high school, all with corny hacker names like the Phantom Streak and the Serial Killer, like in the breakfast food. Hackers has also preserved, because it is an Oscar-winning actress, Angelina Jolie's first major starring role, and stars everyone's favorite Juilliard actor Matthew Lillard, who would be 1 year away from playing his most iconic role as Stu in Wes Craven's Scream. Hack your way to Tubi, Pluto, MGM Plus, Prime, Philo, Fandango, or Google Play. Number 2, The Core. 2003's The Core is a disaster film that ultimately flopped, signifying that perhaps the 90s disaster revival was nearing its end. It was an interesting idea. The core of our planet is set to stop spinning because of humans making a weapon that creates targeted earthquakes. If the core stops spinning, then we no longer have an electric field protecting us from radiation. We'd literally be cooked. Critic Matthew Raza said something I agree with. Although the acting is top-notch, the rest of the core is too cliche and bloated. In the film, a team is sent to the core in a cutting-edge machine designed to withstand Earth's 5,000 plus degrees Celsius core temperatures. It's made of a metal called unobtainium, which is what humans are trying to mine in 2009's Avatar. Not relevant, I just thought it was curious. This team is armed with nuclear weapons in which they are tasked to detonate and keep the core spinning. The super hacker, Theodore Donald Finch, aka the Rat, is supposedly the best hacker in the world. His goal is to hack the internet and control the flow of information so the world doesn't descend into a panic. The Rat is played by pathos-invoking ganglion nerd DJ Qualls, who popped up in ensembles throughout the early 2000s. His breakout role was 2001's Road Trip as the dorky pervert Kyle Edwards. Playing the world's best hacker, needing to save the world, certainly was a step up. You can watch it on MGM Plus, Philo, Google Play, Fandango, or Prime. Number 3, Swordfish. Swordfish took audiences into the new millennium in style with its sleek-looking, tech-heavy, super hacker-centered story. The film stars a then newly minted superstar Hugh Jackman as his seminal performance as the beloved Wolverine in 2000's X-Men. Swordfish also include Hugh's X-Men co-star Halle Berry, along with John Travolta and Don Cheadle. Jackman plays a computer hacker, Stanley Jobson. He spent 2 years in jail for hacking the FBI and exposing a program used to spy on people. Swordfish was pre-9/11, although barely, but the carnivore program in the film definitely resembles NSA's global surveillance programs that Snowden leaked. Producer Joel Silver, who also produced cyberpunk hacker film The Matrix, was looking to capitalize on the phenomena with Swordfish. It fell short, critically and commercially, finally making its profit in rentals and DVD sales while developing a cult following. If you're looking for wit or logic, Swordfish isn't the film for you. But if you're looking for a mindless, stylized shoot-'em-up with tech, hacking, explosions, and a notable cast, kick back and watch Swordfish on Prime, Fandango, or Google Play. Number 4, The Matrix. 1999's mind-bending sci-fi classic permeated culture so far that even today, audiences still see The Matrix influence in all things media. The Matrix is known for its groundbreaking visual effects as well as introducing mainstream America to cinematic styles that were more unique to the cinema of Japan. The stunning visuals are a match only for the thought-provoking themes and sublime storytelling. Although all actors embody their characters well in this fantastic ensemble, Lawrence Fishburne is arguably the standout in his role as Morpheus, whose character guides those from the Matrix into the real world. Fishburne fashioned a unique articulation for his character, and he imbues the screen with a Shakespearean stage presence. Hugo Weaving also stole scenes with his biting performance as the main antagonist, Agent Smith. The Matrix is centered around a group of super hackers played by Keanu Reeves, Lawrence Fishburne, and Carrie-Anne Moss, playing Neo, the aforementioned Morpheus, and Trinity, respectively. Neo feels a disconnect with reality, which reflected a general malaise felt by Gen X with society at the time. We come to learn that the characters are not living in the real world, but reality is a simulation called The Matrix. If you really think about it, everyone pulled from The Matrix appears to be some kind of super hacker. So would someone like you or me even be picked to leave The Matrix if you wanted to? Just something to think about. The Matrix soundtrack is the quintessence of cyberpunk and perfectly demonstrative of a soundtrack implemented so well that it elevates the film. Even today, The Matrix holds up as an iconic piece of American and a zeitgeist for the 90s. So make sure to stream it over on Google Play, Apple TV, Prime, or Fandango. Number 5, The Net. The Net, led by America's sweetheart, Sandra Bullock, who was hot off her runway hit Speed, sees her playing system analyst, Angela Bennett. In this thriller, Angela gets caught in a web of conspiracies involving cyber terrorist hackers. Irvin Winkler, prolific producer of Oscar-winning hits like Rocky and Goodfellas, placed himself in the director's chair for 1995's modest hacker hit, The Net. Though the reviews were mixed, it was enough of a commercial success to garner a straight-to-DVD sequel in 2002, The Net 2.0, which does not star Sandra Bullock. The Net follows Angela, who grows suspicious when people get their hands on a certain floppy disk, end up dying. Although she isn't a hacker per se, she is a computer whiz. I find it amusing. Of all the things a floppy disk, a now obsolete piece of tech, could do in pop culture in the 90s. I could barely store a dozen photos on mine, but whatever. The Net is entertaining and worth a screening for Sandra Bullock. Or for those millennials who might be inclined to view it for the nostalgia of our favorite bygone era, you can watch it on Netflix, Prime, Google Play, or Fandango. Number 6. Tom Clancy's Net Force. Sometimes I think the growth of technology has outstripped our sense of morality. Steve Day from Tom Clancy's Net Force. I personally love this quote as it's more relevant now than ever. Tom Clancy's Net Force is a TV movie that first aired on CBS in February of 1999. The film is based on the Net Force series of novels that made their debut in 1998 and ran through 2006. The series was created by Tom Clancy and Steve Pieczenik and written by Steve Perry. The books revolve around a federal cybercrimes unit called Net Force. That's a division of the FBI. Their job is to fight crime that exists in the digital sphere. So, hackers violating the law. The film stars Scott Bakula as of sci-fi notoriety, mainly for playing Sam Beckett on NBC's 80s, early 90s sci-fi series Quantum Leap. Bakula would also go on to play Captain Jonathan Archer in 2001's addition to Star Trek lore, Enterprise. Tom Clancy's Net Force also stars CCH Pounder as FBI. Pounder was known as the original voice of the Suicide Squad's leader, Amanda Waller. So needless to say, that casting was kind of perfect. The film starts out with a failed cyber bust led by Alex Michaels, Bakula, which leads to growing concerns for the need for net forces by the head of the FBI and the White House. Net Force takes place in 2005 and they already have VR. That's ahead of what we have now, which is disappointing. Prostitution appears to be legal too. Definitely a sign of progress that we also have not achieved. What? Anyway, you can watch the film on Netflix, Prime, or Apple TV. Number 7. WarGames. 1983's WarGames was a cultural phenomenon, often credited for introducing the concept of hackers into the mainstream. The film stars Matthew Broderick, most known for his role in 1998's American adaptation of Godzilla. Just kidding. I do enjoy the flick, though. At any rate, Broderick is best known for playing the titular character in the classic John Hughes teen comedy, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. WarGames sees hacking prodigy David Lightman, fitting name, right? Sounds like a superhero super hacker. Unbeknownst to him, hack a top security military supercomputer. David tragically was just looking for some video games to play, which, to be fair, is relatable. Also, there was a limited amount of them in the early 80s. WarGames has some parallels to Orson Scott Card's acclaimed sci-fi novel, Ender's Game, which came out 2 years after this film. That book sees Ender, as well as a school of children, play in a simulation in which aliens invade. Spoiler alert, in both that book and WarGames, the game isn't a simulation. WarGames garnered praise from critics and audiences alike, and also nabbed all sorts of nominations during award season, including an Oscar nomination for Best Screenplay, Best Cinematography, and Sound. You can enjoy the film on AMC Plus, Philo, Prime, Google Play, Sling, or Fandango. Number 8. Sneakers. Robert Redford leads the ensemble cast in 1992's heist film, Sneakers. The film opens in 1969 where a couple of college hackers, Martin and Cosmo, are funneling money from corrupt corporations and the Republican Party to grassroots organizations doing good, like the Black Panthers. Cosmo gets busted, and we cut to the 90s where Martin, or Marty, played by Redford, has conducted a heist. His team, including Donald, played by Sidney Poitier, and Darren, played by Dan Aykroyd, are paid to break into businesses to test their security. They get recruited by the CIA to steal a black box from Russia. Director Phil Alden Robinson is most known for writing and directing Best Picture nominee Field of Dreams. Robinson's filmmaking finesse is full steam with Sneakers. It feels much more grounded than many other hacker films on this list because of its minimal camp, smart script, and performance gravitas. It's also labeled as a thriller and comedy, so the humor is intentional and breaks up the drama. The production is seamless and the score is beautiful. I noticed it was composed by the late, great Academy Award-winning composer, James Horner, who is also a frequent collaborator of James Cameron. Sneakers would also mark one of the last appearances of prodigal actor River Phoenix before he tragically passed. Sneak over to Google Play, Fandango, or Prime and take a peek at Sneakers. Number 9. Live Free or Die Hard. It had been more than a decade since we saw John McClane in Die Hard with a Vengeance, and the world had changed drastically in that time. By 2007, we had commercial high-speed internet, easy online shopping, cheap portable cameras, and camcorders. We were well into a digital age, and the fourth installment of Die Hard, Live Free or Die Hard, embraced that. The villain was played by the delectable Timothy Olyphant, whose smolder has unnerved us ever since his breakout role as Mickey Altieri in Scream 2. And what did Olyphant play? A criminal mega hacker. The film boils down to John McClane, an old-school cop trying to navigate the digital landscape. Live Free or Die Hard is one of the few sequels in which the shift from R to PG-13 was effective, as it was also written with that intent. Despite Die Hard being one of the most popular action franchises for Gen Xers, Die Hard 4 had mass appeal for millennials. It cast the wonderful Mary Elizabeth Winstead as McCane's badass daughter, and the lovable dork Justin Long as hacker Matt Farrell. Even better, Kevin Smith, known best as Silent Bob in his View Askewverse, makes his appearance as an infamous hacker dubbed Warlock. Live Free or Die Hard's cast is exceptionally strong, and the film is thoroughly entertaining. The over-the-top action, digital age topicality, as well as classic wit is still there if some of the edge and grit isn't. I'd still argue that Live Free and Die Hard is the best Die Hard sequel you can experience the hacker-fueled action on Disney+, Prime, Google Play, or Fandango. Number 10. Operation Takedown. Operation Takedown, sometimes referred to as Hackers 2, even though they are of no relation, was released in Finland in 2000. Operation Takedown, or just Takedown, or Trackdown if you're stateside. Okay, look, this film has a lot of names, but bear with me. It's based on the nonfiction book Takedown, The Pursuit and Capture of Kevin Mitnick, America's Most Wanted Computer Outlaw, by the man who did it. Yes, that's the entire title. The book was written by Tsutomu Shimamura and John Murkoff. Skeet Ulrich, best known for his role as Billy Loomis in 90s slasher classic Scream, plays the infamous real-life super hacker Kevin Mitnick. In Takedown, Tsutomu Shimamura, computer crimes expert and author of the book, is essentially pranked by Kevin, to which he is called out. This deeply upsets Kevin, so he decides to hack into Shimamuru's computers. This leads to a whole tech showdown between Kevin and Shimamuru. Kevin is portrayed as a bit of a hothead in the film. Operation Takedown faced a lot of controversy in 2000, as the real-life Kevin Mitnick slammed the film with a lawsuit, saying it was fraught with inaccuracies. It wasn't released in the US until 2004, and it went straight to DVD under the Dimension Films banner. However, you can catch it on Prime or Fandango. Thanks for checking out the video. Did we leave any films off the list? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to tap that bell icon to stay up to date with our latest releases. You can reach out to us on Twitter or X at StudiosFat, or chat with us on Discord, linked below. We're also now on Blue Sky. You can find us at studiosfat.bsky.social, which will also link below. If you're really enjoying our content and want to help support us, Click that join button for exclusive content, rewards, and perks. Make sure to check out our very own merch store located at fatninja.shop. All proceeds go towards our next film project, so we'd greatly appreciate it. I've been your host, Jamie. Thanks again. See you in the next one.